Today we're going to try something a little bit different. We all know that there's two different autumn seasons going on in Knott's Berry Farm right now, that being Spooky Farm and Scary Farm. But there are 2 days that actually don't have any of these events going on. So I'm going to take the day to walk you through the park and show you why I personally believe that these are the best days to actually visit Knott's Scary Farm if you're just a roller coaster and ride enthusiast. Will forever bug me. Closing down the entrance from Grand to the main lot in the morning, just having it closed and having it open randomly and making it so where there's really only one accessible point to the main lot at any given time from beach. It's I don't know, it's super annoying to me. So before we actually head into the park, I did want to make mention that I heard rumors around the rumor mill, the water cooler, if you will, that probably maybe early 2025, Knott's is going to start the project of the facelift on the entryway here. That being basically, from what I hear, the same thing that Six Flags did to Magic Mountain, which is just removing all of those box offices that they don't need. And if I had my way, obviously I would put some sort of covering over the top there so people don't boil alive in the sun waiting for the gates to open at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock in the morning, depending on when the park opens. And hopefully those rumors are true, and hopefully this is something we see come to fruition within the next 4 or 5 months, because that would be nice, and a much needed facelift to the front of the park here. And with that out of the way, let's start today's adventure in Camp Snoopaloop. It's about 10:30. The park just opened. Probably seen the biggest influx of people at the front gate that it's going to see. I want to point out my first reason for liking this time of year the most. There's no wait times. You see silly Sidewinder, or Zero Sidewinder as I like to call it, usually is at about 15, 20, 30 minutes at this point when the park just opens, because it's the first thing people see that aren't going to Ghost Rider. But it's a walk-on right now. So let's go check what the rest of the land looks like. Camp Snoopy's just an easy little hike through this morning. I'll come back a little bit later and see what it looks like later, like I did last week.
I wish you weren't a liar.
Because generally this part of the park kind of fills up later, like closer to lunchtime. But as of right now, you can see there is nobody around. So everything is essentially a walk-on, and smiles abound. But onward to more pressing matters, as it were. So Montezuma seems to have progressed a little bit more in the last week. They got the scaffolding up on the northeastern spike, I guess is what it is. It's all the way up there, and then they threw tarp on. So it doesn't quite look like the one on the other side, but I think it's got on there what it needs to have on there. Surprisingly, they did not close down the Snoopy Racer ride, which I really thought they were going to do, but they found a way to kind of work around it and over it. That looks like something that they do maybe after park closing, when there's nobody around in case something gets dropped or whatever for safety reasons. But the rest of the ride's still kind of completely under tarp. Doesn't look like it's really been touched. So from this perspective, it looks like they're going to work on the spikes, get everything primed and painted, and then perhaps we see the rails come up in the next month or so. And then from there, maybe they just kind of move down and meet in the middle at the launch bay.
Exciting.
Very exciting time.
Every ride in Fiesta Village is operational, even though it doesn't seem like it sometimes, because there's just not very many people here. So there's a lot to choose from. So you can pick your poison as to where you want to spin around in a bunch of circles, get some butterflies on the dragon swing, or enjoy a nice, peaceful ride over the loudest roller coaster on Earth.
Of course, it's Jaguar.
And by that I mean psych, because Jaguar can't take the morning heat. Probably going to be open in a little while though. Just a temporary downage.
Can it be both?
Soul Spin's up and going again though after being down last week. So if that's your thing, then what kind of psychopath are you if that's your thing? Before I move on to the boardwalk, I do just want to get this out because I'll forget to say it if I don't. There's a couple reasons why I like to come in the fall rather than during like the springtime. One of those being that usually in the fall, the rides are all open. None of them are closed for refurb. Most of that time is dedicated in like January, February, March. The log ride will go down for a couple months. The mine ride will go down. A lot of the boardwalk rides will go down hang time and accelerator. They dedicate a lot of the early year for that stuff so they can prep them for the busy season, which is generally the summer. So one of the big reasons why I prefer now over then is because the rides are all generally open. So it's nice to have all your options available.
I'm Captain Obvious.
Except Jaguar right now, which is just being stupid. Don't tell him I said that. Moving on. All right, bienvenidos a Boardwalk.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
If I could pick like a #1 reason to come on a day like this, it would be that basically Accelerator is a walk-on for like the first couple hours that the park is open, because people haven't gotten back here yet. Even though like it's only got the one train available and it's kind of a slow loader, as you can tell here. They're just kind of hanging out, not doing much. This is my favorite ride in the whole park, and being able to do this over and over and over is a great feeling. That being said, obviously I can't do it today because I've got luggage with me. But still, this is a big reason to come on a day like this. Boardwalk is definitely feeling the effects of an autumn morning. Coast Rider, walk on. Hang Time, walk on. I mean, these rides are super efficient anyway. Coast Rider might have a tendency to get backed up, especially for being an omnimover. That's a little weird to me, but it is what it is. But I will say, point #2 of why I prefer this time over like early in the year, which is the other slow season, the weather. The weather tends to be a little bit better. I know we suffer from Indian summers here in California, so it's generally like hot until December-ish, but Knott's being sort of, I mean, it's maybe 15 miles off the coast. We do at this point of the year have a marine layer that won't burn off sometimes until like noon. The weather is generally nicer now than it is in like February, March. It's cold, which I prefer, or it's rainy, which shuts the park down a lot. We don't really have that issue at this point of the year because it's still technically late summer. It never really rains in October anymore. And something cool that I just found out, right in between Calico Mine Stage and the Classic Candy Shop in Charleston Circle, you'll notice up on the fence here a little something something. That, my friends, happens to be a trigger for your lantern at Scary Farm that may or may not do something with this. What it does, you're gonna have to find out for yourself, or follow me on Instagram and TikTok to find out.
Warning, this is a shameless self-promotion.
Since we're over here in the Roaring 20s, I might as well check the Blind Tiger and see if they remember that I have a delivery for them.
Hey, Benny, there's somebody at the door.
It's me.
What's the password?
I got your delivery.
That ain't it. Hit the pavement, Mac. Ollie, keep playing that there music box.
One of these days I'm just gonna barge in there because I'm sick of holding on to this delivery for them, for real. All right, well, that's enough of that. Let's head out into the wilderness.
Wilderness girls.
And unfortunately, you can't always bat 1,000. Pony Express is only running one train today, so of course that ramp is gonna get backed up a little bit. It's not the longest line I've ever seen. It says 30 minutes at the door. It's probably closer to 20. Either way, there's plenty of other things to do rather than stand in line here in the hot, hot heat, waiting to do a 17-second ride. Let me show you what those options are.
Like the kid, here go.
Eating at the Wilderness Broiler, not one of them.
Moving on.
Let's face it, it's still a warm day out here. It's not winter yet. So right across the pathway here, instead of waiting in the hot, hot sun, you can walk right onto the river rapids. Plenty of tubes to go around. Or you can just
Take a nap.
I think I do know what you mean.
Or you can just take a stroll down the shady streets of Calico. Ignore the spider webs. They're undergoing renovations. But if you really just must wait in the line, you can always come back up here to the front for Ghost Rider. This roller coaster will never not have a line. At least 20, 30 minutes or so. That's not gonna keep people from dancing and have a good time though. You can always take a ride on the Goose. Never miss a chance to take a ride on the Goose. Kind of an exclusive thing. You gotta know when and where to be here to ride that. And there's always Harley's favorite ride, the Calico Mine ride. It says 15 minutes.
Nah, 10, maybe, tops.
But also, look guys, the sun's out, which means it's generally pretty hot, and why not get cooled off and ride a classic at the same time? Timber Mountain says 5 minutes, maybe 10 still. It's all shaded over there on the other side of the waterfall. Another thing about coming on these days too, one thing that Knott's is very, very famous for is their food. And this place, which I dub Fake Chipotle, it's Casa, California, it's usually like wall-to-wall people. Today, ain't nobody in there. You can get your Fake Chipotle burrito real fast. Let's be honest, you don't even have to come on a slow day to be able to walk right onto this ride. Silver Bullet never ceases to amaze me how fast and efficient this ride is. Every day, 5 minutes, walk on. Any day of the week. Maybe a Saturday in the middle of July is when you'll find the line long. But even then, you ain't waiting very long in that line, and it's all shaded. So take that, everybody else.
Good luck, everybody else.
So in conclusion, Knott's during the day in October, very nice.
Very nice.
It's my favorite time of the year to come, mainly because it's my favorite place in the world, combined with my favorite season in the world, which also just happens to house my favorite holiday in the world, and it doesn't hurt seeing all the orange spread out throughout the park. But anyway, what is your favorite time to come to the park? And if you say the middle of the summer,
you and I are gonna have words.
Big whoop. Want to fight about it?
So, till I see you again up on the mountain, in the studios, or here at the farm, we'll catch y'all on the flippity flop.